So here I am once more in the playground of the last free comic book days, or weeks, or whatever have you. This is Carrie Coatney reporting in from the Purple Pinup Guru Panache Plaza WordPress.com sites, PP Guru for short. You enter that in the in your Google search, and it pops right up. Parting is such sweet sorrow, of course, and this is to be the last. This is the fifth, the last and final one of my free comic book days in-depth tutorials. Hope you enjoy them. I don't know if we'll be doing it this format next year, but we'll have to see. So let's start off with the first book of the pile, and that is Speed Racer, coming out from Mad Cave. As you know, I read last week, I read the Phantom one, and I really enjoyed it very much. This one was okay. It's written by David Prepos. The opening story of Speed Racer is opened by Dave Prepos. I hope that I'm pronouncing that right, and he's also the writer on the Space Ghost for Dynamite, and I believe he's written some few things for Marvel here and there, and of course I love his writing on Space Ghost, which is, I believe, coming to an end with issue 12, and he's he's not writing that one. I thought he was writing the Space Ghost Johnny Quest team up for Dynamite, but that's another writer. I think that's Joe Kelly writing that. But anyway, this is this was a heavy ordered book through my colleagues at work. They seemed to be on board with this one, so I ordered 10 copies. Fortunately, only half. I came home back with 5 to half that stack. People were kind of off-putted by the more mature-looking young adult version of Speed Racer rather than the teenage one. I said, what did they do? I mean, my colleagues said, what the hell did they do to this guy? Why does he look like he's about to go on stage with NSYNC or something, rather than race his Mach 5 car? But that's the breaks, man. That's how you do a modernized, updated version. And that's what Mad Cave is specializing in, these modern, updated versions of comic strip characters like the Phantom, Flash Gordon, and Dick Tracy, and Defenders of the Earth. I'm sure they got other ones in mind, but you see the elements are still there from the anime series. I had this entire series on Blu-ray, and unfortunately I had to part with it due to I was in dire straits financially, and that was one of the sacrifices I had to make. And of course, you get the gadgets are still there, the rollerblade, the saucer blades, and the spikes on the wheels and all that stuff. It was okay story. I mean, here's an updated version of what the character's gonna be looking like. You can't find a person who's gonna perfectly animate the Murari Yamarachi style, and there's the updated is an updated character design, and then it has Chris Batista and Davide Tinto. If I pronounced that right. So they are they're upping the game, updating these characters to fit into modern times, with the internet and stuff. And but I like the second story better, which is none other than Racer X, and I really like that. There's some Racer X really knows how to whip a gang of assassins here, and he does a real funny thing with this assassin that he already set bombs to the building he was set up in, and when the guy asks, you're finished, you're through, it's, well, well, your assassin. I'm just waiting for him to evacuate that building he's in because it's scheduled for demolition." And the other guy goes, "What are you talking about?" Kaboom! And yeah. Oh, this is another property. Battle of the Planets. Gotcha, man. They did a free comic book day book of this last year, and apparently it's still doing good. Okay, so second book, Marvel Star Wars. Star Wars in comic book version. This is Marvel's second attempt at at having the property. They seem to be doing it for 10 years now, the second time around. And my roommate's into a lot of the books. Usually I pick up books for him at my local comic book shop for him, and usually a lot of them are Star Wars related books. I will latch on to one, maybe that's a subject I'm interested in, but I'm kind of bored with the Luke Skywalker thing. Apparently there's a character in here called this one here. Who's this character? Ren Zanetti. I don't know who this is. I some kind of another apprentice of Luke Skywalker, probably a student of his. Yeah, it didn't really grab me. I did like the second story though. I thought the second story was pretty good. This legacy of NA. I like when they come up with some original characters and they find their way into movies and TV shows and stuff like that. One of the characters that David Filoni, couple characters that David Filoni did for Lucasfilm's Clone Wars, have made it to mainstream movies and TV, and that's Priestess Ventress. And the episode I watched last night on Tales of the Underworld series is an origin story of Cad Bane, and I was really floored by it. So this is like sort of these characters. This is another acolyte of Darth Vader. This guy Vinay really tries to please him so much, and it's got a lot to do with Kylo Ren in here too. It's interesting. This is the kind of stuff I like. This is the stuff I wish the acolyte was like. More Quan Jinn and mystery solving, and them playing the roles of detective. Somewhat kind of want to know what this story, the backstory of this character called Tensu. We just turn to the back of the book. They have yeah, it's part of the Inquisitor. Tenzu Run, that's his name. I'm kind of I forgot. Maybe somebody established in the movies, or I don't know. But whatever, I'm interested in hearing more of this guy's backstory. And these stories, who wrote the first one? Okay, the Alex Segar wrote the Luke Skywalker one. Charles Soule, okay, he's the big hit writer now with a lot of the elements in the Daredevil show that are credited to him. And Mark Guggenheim, who I recognize as a producer, and I think he developed Arrow as a TV series. So, okay. Okay, here's these little scamps again. This is their second appearance. Nubs, Kaya, Brightstar, and Liz Soleil. They make the core members of the Young Jedi Adventures, and it's a anime show for kids. I tune into an episode each week. It's great that each episode has 2 stories contained, so I can stretch it out a bit for my Saturday morning pleasure, and watch only one per week. And they never seem to run out of making them, so they're pretty popular with the kids. And so I welcome them into my queue on Saturday morning. I watch all the kiddie shows first before I launch into the adult stuff. And but here's another. So that's the second story. It's got the flavor of an episode, so no fault there. These characters are from Last Airbender, and I don't know their names. Except I do recognize that character. Isn't that the guy they ride around in? Wherever the character's name. I'm not up to date on these on this series. However, I do love the sequel series, Korra. I watched all those episodes, but as far as this one, I don't know. It takes some of the episodes I've watched I liked, and some are just I can't follow with the mythology so well. So there's that with that issue. Here you go. Steroids. Get your steroids right here. Street Fighter and versus the rival school. What I can say is, if you're a big fan of the video game, then this is for you. It's nothing but a big giant brawl for no reason. They don't have to have a reason. It's a rumble in a school parking lot or a schoolyard, and this one has a twist though. There's some kind of creature that these two opposing dudes manipulate into fighting for them, and you got this thunder thigh chick who who jumps into the battle here. These girls, they always draw them with thick thighs. This is the dude here. They manipulate and coerce them to fighting for them against the regular hardcore Street Fighter team, and it's a brawl of brawls. It's a real soiree here. And the second story, I kind of like. Here another thunder thigh chick. What's with the thunder thighs? This shouldn't hit girls. What's wrong with you, Batsu? Second story I was more into. There was a one they did last year of Street Fighter, which I thought was pretty good. It was one they sent. It was a whole big 32-page issue about one of these guys getting sent up into prison to be an undercover agent for the feds to look for these drug dealers and stuff. And I thought it was a pretty good one. I don't know if the same guy wrote it or not, but this one is what's her name? Agent Chun-Li. Okay, since it's a different artist, the thighs are more leaner in this one here. But I thought this was pretty amusing. It's about this girl trying to escape her school nurse from giving her a vitamin B shot, and fortunately the nurse knows a little bit about martial arts as much as the agent Chun-Li. So, okay, I'll give that credit. Jim Zub is writing a couple of these issues, and here's some. I guess they're one shots. Oh, and also Mega Man. I also reviewed Mega Man last week, and that was that's also done by Udon Entertainment. And that's fun there. So next, preschoolers, Superman, Good Guy Gang. This is for ages 5 through 7. This is the ages it's written for. It's a preview of a little graphic novel storybook, and kids should enjoy it. I mean, you don't have to know all the mythology behind Superman to enjoy it and things, but there's such a plethora of books for little kids now on these little graphic novel things. I wish we didn't have that back in the day. I know my half sister, she used to like for me to pick her up Spidey Super Stories when I used to buy my comic books, and if I had any spare allowance money, of course I'd be I throw in a copy there, or my mom told me to get it for, I don't know, get your sister an Archie or a Casper the Friendly Ghost. What about Spidey Super Stories? I mean, you want to have your sister relate to, at least get her into reading Spider-Man like me, So this is by Rob Justice, and I mistakenly said a couple weeks ago I thought this was Art Battlezar, whatever. I thought it was his artwork, but it's another guy by Rob Justice, and you got the Guy Gardner Green Lantern, and you got Superman, and you got Hawker. So I think the get kids interested in, because all three of these characters are going to be the new Superman movie. So it's makes sense to release it in July. And Hawkgirl looks kind of weird. It doesn't look like the ones you see in the movie. But anyway, there's one thing. This with Hawkgirl with the bouncing ball, and she just plants it right smack into Superman's super solar plexus, super buttocks. Super buttocks. There you go. It's all about Hawkgirl trying to rescue puppies, and these guys are just not giving her an inch. And it continues in July. And there's also a preview of Aquamanatee. It comes out in September. If you're into that sort of thing. Okay. Well, in this next one, I don't know what this one came out of left field. This wasn't even on the list of the original 50 titles or 47 titles or whatsoever. Bandai decided, hey, I see that you're short. Probably told Diamond, I see you're short like 5 titles. Let's contribute this. Throw this one together and see if you can get rid of maybe the kids will be into it. So I'm gonna see if I can get this right. If I'm pronouncing this right, is it Tamagotchi Paradise? Tamagotchi. I got to talk to one of my work colleagues about this. She might know more about this thing, but it's been thrown together, and it has to do with a line of plushies and all sorts of related toys and things, like a whole universe. And it's like sort of like an origin story, and or how this universe all came together. And there's a whole bunch of QR codes throughout this book, and if you scan them, one will lead you to the YouTube page, which shows all their cartoons and related origin stories, or how to collect them, and all this fun sort of stuff. Or you can scan another one, and they'll take you to all the merchandise and everything. And there's also a bunch of fun stuff for kids to do here. Looking here, find the difference between this one and this one and this page. It's there. You got to find 10 of them. And if I don't, you can't find them all. They got a QR code that tells you where all they are. Like this one, I can spot one off the bat. There's a green apple in there. There's a green apple there, but there's a green apple in that one. So there's 2 green apples in one bush and only one in the other one. So okay, stuff like that. You can order the knapsacks. You got a word search in here, and all sorts of fine stuff in here. So if you know about it, this is definitely for you. All right, this next one. Wow. This is the one that everybody wanted at work. And sure enough, all of them got swiped. All of them got hauled away. Thundercats and Powerpuff Girls. and it's the 0 issue of an upcoming miniseries that's being done for Dynamite. So both my nieces grew up watching Powerpuff Girls, and my oldest, I remember when I worked at Warner Bros. At the time, when my oldest was 3 or 4 years old. She's 20, 25, 26 now. She really loved Powerpuff Girls, and I happened to come across the creator at he was doing, I don't know, a little appearance at the studio, at Warner Brothers studio, and I got a poster of Powerpuff Girl movie. That's right, yeah. Okay, we screened the Powerpuff Girls movie on Saturday at the studio, and I was able to bring my niece at the time to see that screening, and we went and met with Craig McCracken, and we got a poster signed by him, which she still has hanging on the wall to this very day, since she was 4 or 5 years old. So usually I really frown my nose at when Dynamite Entertainment does these 2 licensed crossovers. The worst being like stuff like Elvira meets Ash from Evil Dead, or Mars Attacks meets Red Sonja, or that crazy nonsense stuff that's just not meant to be. I mean, I can't still figure out what Vampirella and Red Sonja have in common, but there's always countless team ups with them. But this one, I guess I can let slide because they're both owned by Warner Brothers, even though they are in separate networks or so. I mean, I think Thundercats ran on WB, and Powerpuff Girls ran on the Cartoon Network, and anyway, the people seem to dig it. I'm sure if I had 2 copies left of this, I give them to both my nieces. But since I didn't, it's nice. I'm gonna have to maybe knock on Carl's door, see if he's got any left over. See, Dynamite does good work with some of these. Have been doing some great, phenomenal work with some Warner Brother properties, and Disney too, like Gargoyles. They do the book for they do Gargoyles, all the Disney villainesses, and stuff like Hercules and stuff. But the Hanna-Barbera stuff they've been tackling. Space Ghost. What a wonderful written book by Dave Pupos. And of course, I got the first issue of this in my queue to read. Space Quest, which is the team up with Space Ghost and Johnny Quest. Hanna-Barbera superheroes already established a universe with themselves. So, Herculoids. Just pains me. I sent them. Well, I sent them the same proposal that I did for DC to them to see if they would buy it. But I guess that pitch went right into the slush pile. This is one of the things you can do. If you want to cut and place and line in submissions, just get a lawyer to submit it for you, because they'll look it over right away. If you're paying a lawyer $1,000 an hour, heck, you're gonna get your money's worth, because the lawyers are good at getting responses. Silverhawk's another property they're doing, and this one, people are not crazy about this, even though Mark Spears is doing the covers for him. But this Captain Planet with the green beard is just an awful turnoff for people. Okay, what else we got? And last is Chitara. Okay. Next, we got Transformers, worst spot ever. This is a young reader's version of Transformers. Not as controversial as Transformers Earthspark, which lit a fire under Laura Ingram's ass when they started discussing pronouns and gender identities, and who knew that Laura Ingram liked to watch Saturday morning cartoons. But she made a big stink over that. But this is more safer. This is from Brian Smitty Smith and Mars Jr. And man, it was okay. I mean, easy to read, no convoluted backstory to understand. It's all explained. And this is coming from Skybound, Robert Kirkman and Skybound, who also do all the Energon, Transformers, G.I. Joe, Void Rivals, and all that stuff. And this is probably a welcome addition for your younger brother or sister to catch up to. There's another thing called Family Force. Apparently Image has got a line of kids' books they do, which mysteriously looks like a lot like Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, but are there a lot of copycat teams doing that? Got here, I'll show you there's an entire line of them. Okay, this is the book, which is out now, apparently, because it's June. Okay, here's the little one, other lines. Oh, this one's very good. Clementine is part of the Walking Dead universe. I read the first issue of that. I really enjoyed that. I was interested about this thing. What is Pizza Witch, and where did that character stem from? Anyway, that's the backup story. Family Force attached to Transformers' worst spot ever. Last final book, yay! It's Will Eisner, a comics biography, and I'm definitely looking forward to this. If you like Tom Scioli's Jack Kirby and his Stan Lee biographies, this one looks like it's right in the same wheelhouse. That would fit right in the shelf of that. It's a lovely excerpt of the graphic novel that shows Will Eisner pounding on doors, pounding the pavement, getting ideas of what to do, how to approach selling the format of the comic strip to comic books. And you can see there's a little homage to A Contract with God there. Whole bunch of stuff here that alludes to other Eisner creations. I'm definitely on board with this. I want to lash onto a copy. Too bad I'm not going to San Diego this year. Otherwise, I'd probably pick it up down there. There's an interesting thing on the plates that Will Eisner also knew how to print comics at a printing press, and he goes the diagram, the step-by-step that he used to do. I worked at a printing press for UCLA maybe 10 years ago. I learned how to do printing books over there. They're printing their textbooks. It's an interesting little experience there. And yeah, I'm so on board with this. I really liked reading this one. And it took me like 15 minutes to read, but I imagine here's some other good stuff. Some interesting from NBM graphic novel series. They're from Canada. And I like to latch onto that Hitchcock one. That looks interesting. Phil K. Dick, Disney Brothers. Okay, so that's it for this year. Let's keep this one over here because I also want to, before I signing off, I like to tell you the ones that I really liked this year. And other than the Will Eisner, I'm down checking out how this will turn out. The Black Mirror graphic novel series, adapting episodes, certain key episodes, popular episodes according to the creators. I'll be interested to see how that works out. And of course, I'm always down for this, Blood Type. This is the EC Comics dedication to one character that was introduced in one of the stories from Epitaphs from the Abyss, and I'll be definitely following that. Of course, Conan, Scourge of the Serpent. Definitely be getting that along with the other Conan books. Like I say in the blog, I'm definitely going to check out a trade paperback of whenever this is released. This is Zero Issue really just blew me away. And of course we'll do. Of course I'll be doing the Phantom. This is my #1 book. So that, and last, I'll probably be checking out, a trade paperback of this if it ever comes out. Post Malone's Big Rig. It was impressive enough to wheel me in, and I want to be a backseat driver to get the puns there. Anyway, that's it for this year. Hopefully we'll do it again next year, and keep reading those comics. Bye.